Hello there, beautiful Cancerian energies. Welcome to my channel, Mystic Light Seeker. I hope everybody is doing wonderful. I have been gone for a few months, so if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. For this reading, I am doing a Path to Love and Light general reading for the zodiac sign of Cancer. All right, so we'll just check in with your spiritual path, your life and relationship situations, and also check in with what you need to let go of, focus on, or yeah, let go of, focus on, or just know if you need to know something. So we'll uncover some truths if they're there for you. I'm going to be doing a 9-card spread, okay? So also the bottom of the card energy will be your card for the entire reading, not just at the very beginning. We'll use that to see where things have been in the past, checking into the present, and how it lines up to your future. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. If you do like tarot, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's have you come back, hit that notification bell. All right. So your first row is your spiritual messages and life journey at this time. All right, and then your second row here is going to be your life, relationships, or situations. All right, you read the energies as they align to you. Very general messages. Okay, not everything will stick. All right, and then your last row here is either action, guidance, or again, what you need to let go of or move away from. Okay, so the goal here is to see how these cards, Wheel of Fortune, how these cards line up with you in terms of your soul's journey and your heart's desires. Okay, so this is going to be the main goal for this reading for you. Okay, and let's see what messages are here for you for your life's journey. All right, what is the primary message for my beautiful Cancers? Current path. Well, I don't know. I feel like this one wanted to talk. So relationships. I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. All right, so that's what's going on right now. This is kind of feels like um, perhaps it's an acknowledgement that you're putting in, you're becoming aware of in terms of like relationships and building them or closing some of them out. Okay, so with the Wheel of Fortune, overall here, I feel like there's something is just kind of like there's like a wave here, okay, rolling in for you. There's a lot of lessons, a lot of endings, a lot of conclusions, a lot of closures. So you've gone through some like lessons right now that you've lived through, and it just feels like right now destiny's at work for you. Okay, so there's chapters that are closing, some are cracking open. There's going to be some new beginnings coming through for you. With the ace and a couple of other cards. So I feel like the emotional turmoil or the emotional tides are shifting right now, and I feel like for a lot of you, you're being shown or you're realizing how this emotional or overall cycle has shaped you to become. Okay, what's next for you in terms of like where you belong, how you fit in into your life journey, into the things that you want. Okay, so right now it feels like this card is here to kind of guide your way through a lot of things. Okay, so in terms of like spiritual elements here, your Two of Pentacles, okay, Capricorn energy. There's something here has been rocked. There could have been rocky feelings, rocky emotions, rocky experiences. Okay, so you're going through something that's very emotional. Spiritually, kind of questioning some things. Kind of like trying to like get yourself back in a place where you can like balance things, okay, in terms of like like you're like learning how to balance your inner self, okay, or your inner emotions, okay, so no matter what else is happening around you, it does feel like for a lot of you, you could be kind of holding your feelings and duties towards yourself and others, and you're kind of like not prioritizing yourself, so you're essentially doing balancing things to ensure other people's happiness and well-being versus yours. All right, so some of you here, you could be kind of trying to balance and juggle a situation emotionally draining. It could be dealing with an energy, a person, or it could just be like you again going through some sort of an emotion where how can I say this, where like you are just trying to stay afloat. Okay, so things could feel, I don't know, bleak for some of you, or things could feel like, you know, it's a little too overwhelming, so you're showing up with that. But you know, in terms of like the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like this is a good change here. Comes through, you know, these situations are not random. You know, it's part of the spiritual journey, it's part of the spiritual path. They're part of your destined flow, you know, in life. So I feel like, you know, it could feel like, you know, you completed some sort of a test to see how you juggle things and how you handle things here. The Seven of Swords, in terms of spiritual essence, it feels like some of you, you know, there's something you feel stuck. Something makes you is holding you back. Something, maybe something's lacking some sort of closure. It does feel like, you know, you could be kind of dodging some truth or reality or a finality of some sort. In terms of like a spiritual growth here, you could be kind of guarding your heart by looking away, not wanting to confront, not wanting to fight, not wanting to challenge somebody. You could, for some of you, you could be feeling guilty, carrying somebody else's guilt, somebody else's secret, somebody else's story. Something is just not lining up with you in terms of like that spiritual, like kind of like with your higher self. Okay, so you could be dealing with something that's challenge driven, but it's like something that can cause like closure can help kind of cause the like to help build the bridge that you need to kind of get over, or walk through and get over, because it feels like somebody here hasn't necessarily been fair. There's been blockages. Okay, somebody is blocking. There's a lot of blockages, and also with the Hermit in reverse. So I don't know, with the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like there could be something here, you know, that could be kind of saying, hey, for this to happen, for the closures, for the resets, or for the new batch of like upgrades or downloads, you know, you're gonna need to, well, we need to see how you're gonna address this situation. Okay, so you need to free yourself from something. Something's kind of eating at you. Maybe you're around a very deceptive energy or environment, or maybe your survivability, okay, is coming. You're trying to like play somebody's game here to kind of, um, how do I say it? It's kind of like, it's like you're not wanting to let go of something or an energy or spiritual matter, because you're hanging on to it, but the way we're hanging on to it isn't the way that's going to be useful for us. So we need to kind of wake up, right? The Hermit in the reverse, Virgo energy, you know, there's something here where I feel like you could be like, again, kind of withdrawn, retreated, looking for some answers. Some of you, you know, you could be kind of like, um, pulling yourself away from like social settings for like a lot, like a while, and you could be avoiding things, you know, that don't bring you quiet and peace of mind. So in the reverse, I feel, Cancer, you could be kind of going back and forth with kind of trying to trust your intuition, but also something is like blocking it. Again, it could be self-doubt, it could be something of importance and value. So whatever decision that you're trying to push yourself towards, you're also kind of blocking your way out of it. So be careful with that for your own well-being. It could be something as like realistic as doubt. Okay, so you could be doubting yourself, or you could be kind of like, you know, trying to like drown your own intuition. And I feel like, and it could be, it has to do with somebody, like, so, you know, like that guidance that you're like the guidance is there, the answer is there, but it's kind of like you're, oh, let me see, there's something else I can also do. Okay, so this is kind of big. Okay, because you know, the more you pull in, it's going to be important that you listen closer to yourself, because you're going to be removed from being around people. And when I say listen to yourself, do it with positive intentions. It's not listen to yourself so that you can react in a way that harms your journey. It would be more like, you know, take this quietness and actually listen to your thoughts, and just kind of like, I guess I tell myself, go through like a filtration process, right? Filter out what's making sense and what's not. But, you know, with the Wheel of Fortune again, there could be something here that's forcing you to kind of, again, get to that clarity point, because we need to kind of, you know, the fortune and the luck and the karma is at play, but it needs to be kind of cleared up. So if there's no room for it, it can't come through. All right, so we need to clear some energies here. I don't know, Cancer, it does feel like for a lot of you, you know, there's a chance for you to kind of get yourself more grounded, and I feel like you're really trying to get yourself there, but something's holding you back, and that whatever that is needs to get untangled. Okay, so you need to untangle with what's being held back, or what's hidden, or what's eating at you. All right, and sit with what's true. Okay, sit with what's true. Sit with what's true with yourself. Okay, for yourself. All right, like have that honest conversation. All right, life, love, relationships, or whatever else is showing up. Excuse me. I could not pause fast enough for that cough. Sorry about that. The Eight of Pentacles in the reverse is here. Okay, so somebody here is not necessarily putting in the care that's necessary into something that's relationship driven or meaningful. Okay, so somebody's slipping, somebody's not applying themselves. The connection or situation here is losing its steam, or it could just be that, you know, you're giving somebody everything and they're just kind of like taking the easy route, so you're like having to do the work all by yourself, when we know the work, you know, is meant to be kind of like, you know, again, you're juggling priorities and people and things. This is right under that. So somebody's energy is taking away from you and from your own success here. Again, any form of relationship, it could be love, or it could be even family, or somebody you really care about, work, passion, business of some sort. Okay, so something here, you know, something keeps piling up. So it's kind of like either, you know, we're not talking to each other as much, we're not being open with one another, we're not being as upfront as things, or it could just be like things basically are just drifting. Okay, so I don't know, it does feel like, you know, somebody's heart is not fully into something right now. I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune here, you know, there's this is like something like that's kind of part of a cycle that's probably ending. Okay, because it feels like that's kind of what's coming through in your thoughts right now, you know, and you're thinking like, this has got to stop, something's got to change, something's got to be different. All right, clearing out what's not meant to be with you. How do I do this? How do I, you know, get myself there? All right, I need to be honest with myself. I can't lie to myself. I can pretend and avoid and dodge confrontations, problems. I'm not a fighter. I'm a good person. But, you know, I've kind of taken so much time being quiet to myself here, thinking it's time to take some, you know, moves here, with the Wheel of Fortune showing up, saying your reading is blessed. So essentially your path, I feel like, is heavenly at this point, in terms of optimized positivity, if that makes sense. So we have to optimize the positive. We have to like shine that light on it and magnify it, because that's where we need to be focusing on. All right, Ace of Wands here. Okay, so essentially, I mean, for you, Cancer, there's some sort of a rush coming through. Something new is pulling at you, tugging at your heart, trying to get your attention, making your heart beat faster. You could be dealing with an energy here that's kind of like, you know, you guys are, I don't know if it's a flirting stage or some sort of a crush crush of some sort. But, you know, somebody here wants you to leap into something, you know, bold. Okay, so like you're like, well, hey, no, it's not, you know, Mystic Light Seeker, it's really not a relationship, a love situation. Yeah, I'm reading each card individually, but remember, we have relationships, so this could also be a business relationship. Somebody could be wanting you to leap into something, whether it's a promotion, like a promotion that promises a raise, a move, a transfer. It could be something where it's a spark, it's a passionate path. It's infused with the desire to essentially rebuild, okay, or build something, or liven something up. Okay, so I feel like, you know, for some of you, you know, there's no telling if like, if this is like all 100% real, or if it's like, you know, somebody's kind of putting like a feel for where things are, or how you would respond or react. But, you know, I feel like there's something here that destined wise, in terms of your relationship, something here is going to be moving forward magnetically. So it's going to be pulling you into the positive, but it's also going to be an offer of some sort. I don't feel like I feel like whatever is kind of approaching you at this time is going to be somebody that is interested in putting the work. So it's not necessarily all action, no, or all talk, no action. It's an action oriented card, okay, in its highest form. So with the Five of Swords, interesting, it's in the reverse. Okay, something here, again, this is somebody I feel like that wants to heal something, correct something. There could have been some sort of a fight, bad tension. You know, it's kind of like a card that's kind of saying, hey, you know, let's let's drop the BS. Let's unblock what needs to be blocked. Let's be honest. Let's be fair. Let's bring clarity forward. Okay. Something here needs to mend. Somebody wants to mend a wound, or the relationship may have had strains or doubts or issues, and there's an opportunity here for those things to be mending. All right. So that's good. I feel like for a lot of you, the past is still going to be aspect that's going to be lingering, so it's not going to be easily forgotten. But this is kind of like softening the impact. Okay, this isn't like, again, this is something where whatever struggles, whatever old struggles have been, or whatever juggling, something here is going to like realign, because the cycle is closing and or reopening, and with a new fate, like with a new chance of anything. It brings, I feel like for a lot of you, it brings like it like how do you call it, it extinguishes the struggles. Okay, so like in the beginning, if it feels like you've been going through it, you've been going through the thick of it, trying to kind of go through things on your own, trying to figure out how things are, there's a desire to conclude all that. And interestingly, the Wheel of Fortune is like, oh well, let's clean this up, and then this is going to bring all the right things back in there. All right, because this is a card of positivity, karma, but more like luck in the right ways. Okay, not just like a fortune could be here, but it's not just about that. It's the fortune and things like the good things, the good fortune things, and everything. All right, so looking ahead. Okay, so it might feel like some things are fading out, some truths are coming through, you're making some decisions, but looking forward, the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so it does feel like somebody's feeling empty. Okay, and I feel like maybe somebody has felt like they were left out in the cold, or left you kind of, or you could be feeling like a little like guarded or apprehensive, or questioning where you fit in. Okay, whether it's in your overall energies, in terms of like your life's journey, or like your relationships. But I feel like for a lot of you, it, like, there's a need to have enough security, enough care, enough passion to things you're doing, and it needs to kind of feel like it's coming from like a good place. Okay, it's not just coming out of the cold to make things or people feel better all over again, but it's kind of like the things that have made you kind of take that step away with the Hermit and all that stuff. It just feels like there's an energy here that's kind of like lingering, and you're kind of like shifting perspective. Okay, it feels, or your perspective will be shifting soon, because I feel like this card is saying not just like wake up, but it's kind of like time to start act like moving. Okay, but it's also about not settling. Okay, so don't settle for things. Okay, so it's like, don't just say okay. Let's just say, for example, up here I was saying, somebody can do all the work, or they're willing to kind of apply themselves way more and all that. Like, that's fine, but like, like maintain aspects of your own, like your own role in whatever it is that's going to be shifting you, and you're going to be kind of re-engaging with here, because somebody wants to heal some wounds. Okay, and then we have the Temperance card. The Temperance energy is showing up in the reverse, but in the reverse, I feel like there's something that's still feeling like unsteady for you. Maybe you're feeling like something is not moving fast enough, or maybe you were wondering if you're moving or rushing. You're moving things too fast or rushing with your choices underneath the Love card. Well, it's a card of passion, but it feels like if there's like a love connection, you might be kind of you're worried about rushing because of deception or manipulation or past experiences. Even though somebody wants a clear slate, or a part of your time in life, there's a lot of things that are still kind of causing some doubt. Okay, so for a lot of you, it does feel like there's just too much of one thing and not enough of the other. So it's okay to slow down, I feel like the message, and restore your balance, because I don't feel like the way you can enrich yourself, other people can like match that. So it's really important to let whatever is happening, all this excitement or proposals or interactions, just let things kind of like marinate and sit through, and see how it works. Okay, because for a lot of you here, it's just really about like finding your footing in the things that you're trying to do. So like, somebody could be, for example, very, very convincing, and that's great, but just keep in mind that it's also about your like life path and your own destiny here. the Empress in the reverse. Okay, so I don't know. It feels like something here. Again, you're pulling. It's something you're like, you're like like all these are in reverse. Okay, so pulled inward, holding back. You're not feeling your best self. You're giving a lot to others. Okay, you're not nourishing your needs. Okay, so I feel like the message here is to really focus on your heart's desires, and take these quiet moments and learn from them, but also kind of, love and guard and protect yourself because of these lessons. Okay, because sometimes it does feel like some sort of healing is important or necessary for you for something to kind of get back on track. But essentially here I feel like you have the ability to have like a refill. Okay, it's just like it's a matter of like how much risk you're gonna allow or be okay taking. Okay, so I don't know, it does feel like there's a lot of mending taking place, a lot of introspection. You're paced in some ways, but in some ways somebody might be trying to rush you, and the message is like don't rush, or don't just like fly into somebody else's pathway. Like feed your own roots, nourish yourself. um like if you're trying to really guard yourself and like keep things in perspective, and like you've overgiven and overextended yourself, I feel like it's just more important right now with these things to let anybody come back, or for you to kind of re-enter any aspect of anything. These two cards are just saying that's great, that can happen, but you gotta, like, you can't leave the wound open. Okay, so, or you can't leave the door so open and be so trusting that anybody can come through and kind of take whatever they want and then just leave. So I don't know, tell me if you want in the comments if this feels like it's a family member, a loved one, a romantic relationship, a partnership, or some sort of a work situation, because it does feel like you're like like this is a energy that isn't going away anytime soon. So, all right. Well, Cancer, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for your time with me. I'll pull a final message for you here to close this reading. All right, so we have B and productivity. So if you want to type those in the comments, feel free to do so. Let me know you stayed with me till the end. Your message is, it is time to examine your productivity. Disorganization and indecisiveness may be causing you to miss opportunities. Take a moment to prioritize your goals and get a clear view of how to get where you want to go and what it will take to get there. All right, beautiful Cancer. Love you guys so, so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.